Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ciarra, and please do remember, if you do not like what I say, how I say it, or why I say it, then please do feel free to click off this video and go about the rest of your day in peace. And so for this pick a card reading, we're going to be doing kind of like an energy update as far as what is it you need to know for your career / life purpose. So again, this could be, these messages could apply to anybody who's maybe searching for a job, currently in your career. Again, any point in stage. Take the messages how you will. Again, these are general messages, so not every card, not every specific message may resonate for you personally. And of course, if you're attracted to more than one pile here, that is perfectly fine, because again, the messages that are going to be most resonant for you might be in more than one pile here. So the piles that we have, for pile 1, we have this aqua calcite. For pile 2, we have pineapple calcite. For pile 3, we have emerald calcite. And for pile 4, we have red calcite. So definitely take as much time as you need. Meditate on the piles, connect to your higher guides. If there's a specific question you're wanting to ask in regards to your career, go ahead and focus on that now. And just allow yourself to be attracted to the pile that is going to have the message for you. So let's go ahead and jump into this. All right, for those of you who picked pile 1 here with the aqua calcite piece, we're going to go ahead and jump into your reading, and I'm going to go ahead and spread out all the cards first and foremost. Let's see what we got going on here. So for the tarot, we have the Lovers card. We also have the Emperor. So you guys got 2 major arcanas coming out. So we're definitely talking about some big energy happening right now in your career situation. We also have Mercury in Capricorn with organization. We also have Venus in Aquarius with detachment. So again, these might be particular places in your natal chart you want to look, or again, maybe something that's happening in your progression chart or transits. So pay attention to these energies. We also have the new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. You also got the mountain in reverse here. And we have not for you. Oh my God, that's so crazy. You got 2 6s. Actually, technically you have 3 6s, because the Lovers card is a 6. And it's kind of weird because like in the Roman numerals here, obviously you have kind of the mirror image happening here. Very interesting. So clearly, with the Lovers and the Emperor here, we could be talking about careers that have to do with, particularly with the Emperor, that can signify, self-employment or high-level leadership jobs. It can also talk about government jobs. It's all about being in full control and a high management kind of level in a career situation, as well as, saying that you are a leader. With the Lovers, that often talks about stimulating work that has to do with either like information gathering or media work. It can also talk about careers in the beauty industry. The Emperor can also refer to, again, being the head of an organization, or again, you're working in a very male-oriented field. The Lovers can also talk about, obviously, working in a partnership or working in a pair of some sort, sales, publishing, advertising, communication between people. So definitely, I get the sense that probably a lot of you pick this pile. You're doing you could be working in one of those fields or looking into, starting to work in one of those fields. It could be maybe coming up here, you are going to be put in charge of organizing maybe a team of people. You're going to have to be kind of the leader head to what they're going to be looking for. Or again, you're going to be put into a partnership situation, but there's definitely choices here. And I almost get the sense maybe for some of you, maybe there's also kind of like a little bit of like some love situation kind of crossing over here, where it's like you kind of have to, I feel like, kind of draw a thin line between the romance side of things and the career side of things. It's interesting because you also have that it's time to take action, which definitely plays very well into the Emperor, because the Emperor is Aries energy. So you guys really need to take charge of the situation and not be bossed around by somebody else. I get the sense of that as well. Let's go ahead and dive a little bit more into the messages here. So I'm going to start off with these astrology cards here. So we're going to first talk about the Mercury card that we have. So this is, again, Capricorn energy. So with this, it's talking about when this card is drawn, it indicates that hard, conscientious work is required in order to achieve long-term aims or solve an immediate problem. Exactly. So particular events that could be coming up in relation to this for you guys is a need for extreme patience, discussion about discipline and control, taking a position of responsibility, working with someone famous. See, you're definitely going to be, so I get the sense that like some of you, maybe you're working for a corporation, maybe it has something to do with, particularly your job has something to do with the media side of it, where again, you're kind of having to manage the flow of information coming in. And so obviously there is a very important partnership coming up for you guys that is going to involve somebody who is of a very high standard, of a high position, which can, potentially rise up your position as well. I just saw 444 if you do a very good job and you're not bossed around by this particular person either, I get the sense of. So with the detachment card coming in here next. So with this, it's talking about when this card is drawn in a reading, it may indicate a detached feeling with regard to one's relationship. Negatively, it can mean that there is no means of making contact. So events are a sudden love affair with a friend, an unusual free love relationship, an unusual or odd relationship, a couple living separate lives, an agreement between lovers. And you literally have the Lovers card, which is, and even though it is a romance card, it has a lot to do with making hard decisions as well, making a choice based on what your heart is telling you need to do. And needing to take responsibility for something for sure. So again, I feel like there is a little bit of like a messy situation as far as relationships go, in that kind of negatively, or again, maybe your career is negatively affecting the romance situation. There's like some sort of crossover happening here for a lot of you, where it's like, I feel like you're kind of wanting to move and focus because you're like, what's happening in your job or your career is so important right now that weird things on the relationship front are kind of trying to pull your attention away, and like you don't like that, but it's like you're finding a hard way of organizing everything that's happening in your life, and that's why that detachment's coming up. Kind of detach from the situation, or that's exactly what you're doing. So let's talk about the new moon in Aries for you guys. So with this energy, obviously, you want to pay attention to any kind of new moon in Aries that might be coming up here, the new moon cycle for you guys. So the flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons, and you're on the right track. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign if there is something you want to happen in your life. Take this card as a big yes from the universe. This is the time to really tune into your dreams. You may still have a long way to go. After all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but you're on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for. But the hot fire of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you're asking about. The caution, don't go too fast and forget your manners. Treat people well as you charge towards your goals. You create much better karma for yourself. So again, really watch how you're communicating and how you are dealing with the people, especially in your career situation right now. That's part of also why the detachment card is coming up, because you don't want to let kind of messy emotions come into what is happening in this career situation. Maybe there's like a big career deal that's going to be happening, or project, and maybe somebody involved with that is somebody who was a past lover, maybe for some of you, and it's like an ex or something, and you don't want to let those, you definitely don't want unfinished business on that side affecting the business that you're trying to manifest. Because again, I just feel like there's a really important career decision happening here that can really kind of make or break you for what it is you want to move on to in the next level. So again, be very cautious about how you're handling communication. So to attune to this energy, don't even think about giving up. Giving up is not an option here. Backing down is not an option. You have to get this done. So do your best and be happy with that. Avoid being brash right now. You need a 12-month plan. A new male is coming into your life. Ooh, interesting. So that could definitely be, oh boy. So maybe that's another thing. It's like the person that you're going to be working on this project is somebody that you're interested in, you're attracted to sexually or romantically. But again, it becomes a thin line of like pleasure versus business. And you have to kind of walk that thin line. Maybe you have to make a hard decision here. Do you want the job or do you want the sex? Like you gotta make a decision. What is best for you in the long run? Like what fits into that 12-month plan. Just because you want it doesn't mean you should have it, because it could really, you can't have all of the pie. You got to pick a slice and stick with it is what I'm getting here. So on that note, let's talk about this not for you card, because that's rather interesting. So with this, it's saying the central meanings are a clear knowing that something is being denied you. Rejection is God's protection. So you can strategize and project and systemize and invest all of your time and energy, but sometimes your best laid plans seem to go awry in spite of it all. Keep in mind that no effort is wasted. Fail fast and learn from defeat. Then keep going. You will eventually succeed, although perhaps not at this game, not at this time. Know when to fold your cards. So maybe there's a part of the situation where it's like, maybe the opportunity that you've been trying to go for isn't going to go your way, but it's a way of opening a new door for an even better option or situation to come in. So, and again, it's crazy that we have another 6 card coming out for you guys. So with this one, with the mountain in the reverse, there is an obstacle to your inquiry. This is not the time to move forward. Wait a while. Be patient, and a way around the mountain will be revealed. Pushing forward isn't in your highest good. Don't try to climb too high to grasp the prize that seems out of reach, because it is for now. If you exceed your limits, you will find yourself tumbling down and you'll get hurt. Remain open to a new possibility rather than stubbornly forging ahead. Exactly. So again, definitely for the career situation, it's like there is a need to take action, but again, you have to realize that obviously one door is going to be kind of shut on you, but that is just a way of preparing you to accept an even better option that is, again, just around the corner. You don't quite realize it, but it's there. So again, maybe, again, I get this clear sense that there's something here where it's like, it's either the romance side of things or it's the business side of things. And one you're going to get and the other you're not going to get. So again, you have to choose wisely about which one it is you want the most. Either way, you're going to get something good out of it, but you got to have to weigh the pros and the cons. So that is what I'm getting for this particular pile. So if this resonated, please do let me know. Comment down below if you like this kind of reading. Also let me know that. And of course, if you'd like to help support this channel, please do consider checking out my Patreon if you want to know more information about personal readings or get exclusive pick-a-card content and artwork. That is one of the best places for that. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, for those of you who picked pile 2 with the pineapple calcite, we're going to go ahead and jump into your reading by starting off flipping over all of your cards and seeing what you have. So for your tarot, we have the 9 of Pentacles, which is really good to see. We also have the Hierophant as well. We have Jupiter in Scorpio with manipulation. We also have Venus in Aries with lust. I'm very familiar with that energy. We also have don't let your past hold you back with the South Node here. Wow. We also have card 16 here, Rescue, but in the reverse. And we have Treasure Island. So let's go ahead and start off by kind of talking about the jobs that could be involved here, especially with the 9 of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So with the 9 of Pentacles, we could talk about, obviously, you're very talented at whatever it is that you're doing. You know, this could also suggest an overnight success with what it is that you're looking at. administration work, project manager, with, of course, the Hierophant. We're going to be talking about, long-standing traditions overall, so in institutions like that, churches, organizations with strong beliefs, schools, bookkeeping as well comes up with this. Let's see, with that Nine of Pentacles, it could definitely signify that you're earning a wage through the use of your talent. So especially, I get the sense that some of you, this is a group where you're kind of questioning, what are you doing with your life, kind of, especially with the South Node coming up here, and I'm going to get more into that in a second, but like you're questioning, what am I really doing? What is it I really want out of my life? Because for you, it's like you're at a point now where it's like you don't just want to do a job just for money. You want to do something that actually has substance and that you wake up every day and like brings you more joy. You want to follow more of your life purpose in your work than just a job for a job. So you really need to connect and understand what are your natural talents and what have you always been attracted to. And also, what is the opposite of that as well? What do you find extremely challenging? And again, I'll get more into that when we talk about the South Node. But, it could also be talking about, you're enjoying a lot of luxury, or you can enjoy a lot of luxury and freedom and minimal subversion at work. It also can talk about, that you have money and it might not even need to work. Or if you do work, it's in a leadership role that pays very well. Again, I feel like this is like the potential that you guys are really wanting to go after, and you have that potential, but I feel like it might just be maybe some of you need to go back to school a little bit more. You need to kind of study up more on your chosen area or field, especially with the Hierophant being here. Understanding more the traditional nitty-gritty means to getting something done, because the Hierophant is Taurus energy. So again, Taurus is going to talk about anything that is that religious organization, vital business to keep the economy going in a small town, or even a franchise. Maybe you're wanting to start your own franchise, or again, kind of building up your particular brand is another thing I'm seeing here. But again, you have the potential here for a lot of fantastic success and independence, and being very materially secure and sound. The Hierophant can also refer to marriage as well, maybe money through inheritance or marriage, not so much inheritance, but definitely marriage could definitely be a potential, just to throw it out there. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what you guys are wanting or what is happening, but just to throw it out there. So let's go ahead, before we start talking about that South Node, let's address our two zodiac astrological cards here. So you might want to look at your natal chart and see if you have a Jupiter in Scorpio or in the 8th house, or if you have Venus in Aries in the 1st house, something like that. So let's talk about the Venus first. So with that Venus and Aries energy, you can definitely be very magnetic to people. They can be very attracted to you. Again, you can kind of use your energy as a way of drawing people in. So with this, it indicates a need to assert oneself, and yet to do this with the utmost warmth and charm. The hard hand in a velvet glove may be the answer. So the events, particularly in regards to this last card, are a brief, wild love affair, a love battle, a fighting, sparring relationship, a love challenge. So maybe there is something that has to do with love coming in here. It's funny because even the first pile was having like a little bit of that energy coming out. It is something that you're thinking about maybe in regards to your career situation, but definitely I get the sense that you do have that energy to be very charming and to use that in your advantage when it comes to your career options. So we also have that manipulation card. So obviously with something like that, maybe you are feeling like you're being manipulated, or again, you kind of have a talent for manipulating people. And again, you can do that in a positive sense. because especially in something like sales or marketing, it's like you have to understand how people think and how to, again, steer people into, again, buying a product or being interested in your brand. It's like, yes, there is a little bit of manipulation that kind of goes into that. It doesn't have to be a negative thing, but it is something you just have to, a reality that you have to understand. So with this card, it's talking about, in a reading, this card may warn that one is following a false or manipulative person. Scorpio's natural rulership of the 8th house shows a benefit from an inheritance or heirloom. So it's funny because I already brought up inheritance, and then there's that energy coming up again. So yeah, there could be something about you gaining a little bit of money through an inheritance or a marriage, something like that. So the particular events here is a difficult legal problem, persuasive promotion or propaganda for a person or project, detective work to prize out someone's secrets. Very interesting. So next up, we're going to, of course, talk about the South Node. So what I want to say here is definitely check out a book called The Astrology of the Soul. It is a book that tells you all about your North Node, and in doing so, also your South Node. So to understand the South Node, you also have to understand your North Node. This is an extremely important point, especially if you are looking at, what it is you're supposed to be working towards in this life. It can also talk about careers that would be the best for you. But obviously, don't let your past hold you back. The South Node represents the energy that you've already learned that is comfortable for you. It can refer to your past life experience. And it also refers to, again, what is easy for you to fall into as a habit, which is not always a positive thing. But again, you've already learned that. And again, it's your comfort zone. It's where you feel comfortable, but that can also be a crutch. So that's why you look to the North Node to see, okay, this is what I need to work at and do in this life. And that is what's outside of your comfort zone and what you're striving to work towards. So clearly for you guys, you really need to understand that relationship, because that is really going to pinpoint what it is that has been maybe holding you back from achieving like the big payoff that you want in your career. So with this card, the South Node is like the North Node. Is a karmic point, but it's opposite to the North Node and relates to the past, perhaps even to past lives. Whatever you're going through and whatever you're asking about, there's a chance that age-old programming and conditioning is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Do you feel stuck in something? This card will often come as a sign that the situation or relationship you're asking about has somehow become suffocating, even toxic. It suggests that someone, you even, needs to be released, and there's some kind of addiction going on or an unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out. One thing is for sure, when you get this card, you're being challenged to make some changes, even if staying where you are feels easier and safer. So you got to make some big moves and some big changes coming up here. You need to attune to this is I release the past. That is what you guys need to do. So a relationship is karmic and has played out across many lifetimes. Your attraction to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Exactly. So next up, let's talk about this rescue in the reverse here. So with this particular card, so it says, are you trying to rescue another? Do you believe your love can change someone and miraculously heal this person? Or are you waiting to be rescued? Do you believe that someone will sweep you off your feet and take you away from all your troubles? Reverse, the rescue card cautions you against romanticizing your situation right now. Look closely and see reality as it is, rather than the illusion of how you'd like it to be. You need to step back and rescue yourself. Trust that spirit will guide you to expose the illusion so that you may discern the difference between truth and fantasy. Wow, and that really plays into that South Node. Again, that old past programming, falling into that. Falling into a manipulation of your own making. Really. So, and then lastly, we got that Treasure Island here. So with this card, so the essential meanings here is the law of attraction bringing dreams into fruition, the results of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, Financial gains in the sharing of good fortune. Interesting. You have a lot of that coming up here. So at this time, you can be confident that success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and you're in a true manifestation period when you will see evidence of the seeds of prosperity you planted in the past. The appearance of this card in a reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish as inspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. Very, very interesting. So I'm very curious to know like what is happening for you guys who picked this particular group, because I do feel like there's a bit of a cross section of people here. Again, definitely avoid that kind of feeling like, oh, you need somebody else to come in and rescue you, to provide for you. It's like, no, you are perfectly capable of creating and manifesting your own wealth. You don't need somebody else to do that for you. You can for sure do it. In fact, I feel like if you do it, doesn't mean you can't have people help you. But when you take the initiative and you start and you work your energy first and foremost, that is where you'll get the biggest payoff for certain. So that is everything I'm seeing here for this particular pile. So if this resonated, please do let me know. I'm very curious. And of course, if you like this kind of reading, definitely do subscribe if you want to see more. And if you'd like more exclusive content, personal readings, artwork, all kinds of fun, extra goodies, definitely do check out my Patreon, because that's where all that's happening. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, for those of you who picked pile 3 with the emerald calcite piece here, we're going to go ahead and jump into your reading, and we're going to start by pulling off all of your cards and seeing what we have. So we have the High Priestess coming out. So definitely some of you could be doing spiritual work of some sort. We also have the 8 of Wands, so a lot of communication. We also have Saturn in Aries with risk. We also have Venus in Capricorn with convention. It's interesting. Every pile has gone in a Venus card so far. We also have here, if I can get it to go, don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. It's funny because as I'm filming this particular reading, again, this is a timeless reading, but we just had a full moon in Leo just happen. So that's pretty wild. We also got listening in the reverse for you guys. So definitely you need to listen to the auditory messages that are coming through. You guys could be very clairaudient, but you're not fully comprehending what it is that you're receiving messages-wise, I get the sense of. Because, yeah, we have fork in the road as well. So you could definitely be at a crossroads right now when it comes to your career. I also think it's interesting. We have risk and we have convention. So I definitely feel like it would be very beneficial for you guys if you can to take more part, to, you know, learn more about your chosen field, to build better connections, especially through like going to a literal convention, even if it's like a virtual one. That would definitely be very beneficial. I get the sense that taking a risk on something in your career right now would be very beneficial for you guys. So let's kind of talk about the potential careers that we have going on here, especially with our particular zodiac cards. So, I mean, our particular tarot cards here, because we have Pisces energy coming out with the High Priestess, so, because that's moon energy. So, with the 8 of Wands being present, this could talk about careers in marketing, news, communication, aviation work, tourism, receptionist even. It can also refer to such things as, talking of like a quick progress in a career where you'll have a strong opportunity to really shine, to really show your stuff. But I feel like definitely the big key here is going to be the High Priestess, because that can talk about careers in conflict resolution. It could talk about librarian, psychic, nun, detective, historian, psychiatrist, endocrinologist. That's a mouthful. But it also really refers to the need of academic work. It could talk about if you are job hunting. So if you guys are looking for that, you are job hunting. This could really refer to you being encouraged to further your education by some means. Doesn't mean necessarily that you have to go back to like a literal school or like an institution or something of higher learning, but definitely, taking the risk to really put yourself out there, do online classes, see if there's anything, maybe you can take a couple classes at a community college, anything to help further your career through the knowledge that you acquire is definitely very, very beneficial for you guys. And again, some of you, maybe you do really need to go back to school, or maybe this is a message that maybe some of you have been thinking about changing your major, but you feel like it's a big risk to change your major at this point, but it's like, if that is, don't let pride get in your way. Exactly. Like, don't just stick with something just because of, oh, maybe I'm going to disappoint somebody else, or, and that's coming from a place of pride because you pride yourself in keeping to your word. But again, if it's not meant for you and it's not bringing you joy and it's not going to make you happy in the long run, and you're, intuitively being called to do something different, then take that risk and see what the payoff is. Regardless, you're going to learn something amazing through the process. It's not going to be a waste of your time. So on that note, let's talk about this. So of course, check out your natal chart information. See if you have Saturn in Aries, or you have Capricorn in Venus, or maybe you have something like this in your first house or your 10th house. What is happening there? So let's talk about these. So we're going to talk about the Venus card first. So with that Venus energy of Capricorn, we are talking about when this card is chosen, it often indicates a romantic liaison with someone much older or younger than you. Very interesting. Again, every pile has gotten some kind of love message regardless, and it's really interesting. But particular events that could be involved with this is a marriage or affair with a great age difference, a relationship with a famous or important person, a new friend of some influence. Exactly. Because you have the Eight of Wands here. And the Eight of Wands can definitely be a love card because it's like being shot by Cupid's arrow, falling head over heels in love very fast with somebody, love at first sight. Or again, like big messages coming through, big opportunities coming through. And it's all coming in very, very fast. So again, that is a potential for some of you. Also, I'm just going to call it, pay attention to like keys, sea glass for some reason might be important for some of you. I'm just getting a sense of that. Or like heirlooms, archaeology is maybe somehow applying here. I don't know. Or again, anything that is esoteric or occult knowledge might be of interest for some of you right now. But let's talk about the Saturn card. So this is, of course, Aries. So it is saying, with this card in a reading, it indicates a tendency to take everything too seriously and shows that allowing a sense of humor to express itself in the current situation will not degrade conscientious work in any way. It is time to relax and take a measured risk. Also pay attention to bears. That might be another sign in synchronicity for you guys. Elephants too. But the particular events here is a justified risk taken to provoke new possibilities. You guys definitely do need to take that risk. A sudden regretted action after a long bout of concentrated impatient work. Pushing oneself into a position of power through intense work. So yeah, there is maybe a chance for some of you to kind of, push the boundary a little bit too much, maybe take too much of a leapy risk, but I don't really feel like many of you have that, like especially with the fork in the road, like you need to take the risk because that's the only way you're going to get out of this stuck energy. So let's talk about our full moon in Leo. So with this particular energy coming out for you guys, let's see. So have you been letting your pride become an obstacle? Is the question you're asking based on your ego, or is it from your heart? Leo energy is all about the heart. Think of the big-hearted king of the jungle, the lion. Its energy is magnificent, but when it's combined with the rush of the full moon, it can become over the top. This card may come to you because you need to end a deadlock that has developed. More love and thoughts for the greater good are the solution to this dilemma. If you've not been doing as you would be done by lately, this is the time to find a balance between your own needs and the needs of the people around you. This will help all your relationships. So to attune to this is be magnificent without being plain too much. So self-esteem is good, vanity is not. Everyone is equally important. Creative urges should be followed. Work some magic. Again, take a risk on that. A friendship may be ending now. So very interesting. So there could be a potential here of like certain connections leaving your life, but new ones are definitely coming in to replace them that are going to be really beneficial. So let's talk about our fork in the road. Everybody's favorite fork in the road. But the central meanings here is time to make a decision. Considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. Again, listen to your intuition. You've come as far as you can on this part of your journey, and now you're faced with a choice. Inherent in this choice is the need for change, for evolution, and for a bettering of your circumstances. Narrow it down to just a single question. Who do I need to become, and what do I need to believe in order to live a life full of prosperity? Answer honestly and from the heart. Then the decision about which way to go will be effortless. Know that abundance is all around you. Choose to see it, and it will be easier to settle on a direction, for the way will be made clear by your intuition, which knows how to steer you toward your well-being. Exactly. You got to listen to that intuition. So on that note, let's talk about the listening card in reverse for you guys. So with this, actually it's 53, excuse me, I'm reading it upside down. Oh, it's card 53. So with this reverse, it is saying, are you feeling that you're not being heard? That perhaps your needs aren't valid, that your song will go unsung. Now is the time to bring your message to the world. Speak up. It's time for your voice to resound throughout your sphere of influence. This is a moment to say what you mean and ask for what you want. In the reverse position, listening has another meaning too. It also asks you if you're refusing to listen to someone else, preferring to hear what you want instead of what is being said. This is the time to get out of denial. Reverse this card always brings freedom if you heed its advice. Exactly. And I feel like that's a big thing that you guys like is freedom in what it is you do or what it is you want to do. So again, you got to listen to, I think, your higher calling here. This is like a big moment for you to really make that choice because, again, you're not going to move forward at all until you've made a decision. And again, don't be afraid of whatever decision you make. At the end of the day, regardless, you're going to learn something important. Don't live in the past and live in regrets of what could have been or what I should have done. It's like, you know what? It already happened. It's already in the past. You can't go back and change it, but you can look to the future and understand, okay, I made that decision. So what can I do different this time? And again, it's all about learning from those past experiences, not living and being sorry, like sad for yourself because you did that and it didn't go the way you wanted. Release some of the expectations. If you feel like you need to take a risk on something because it's what your soul is calling you to do, then just fucking do it. Don't hesitate anymore. Don't wait for tomorrow. Just do it now and see what happens. And you know what? If you fail, then you fail. No big deal. No big whoop. You could always pick yourself up again and try again to do it differently the next time because, again, you learned. Don't be worrying so much about changing what happened in the past. Worry about the present and what you can do right now. So that is what I'm sensing off this particular pile. So if this resonated, please do let me know. Comment down below. Of course, subscribe if you would like more content like this. Feel free to check out all my other readings here on my channel. And of course, if you'd like more exclusive readings, private readings, artwork, all kinds of fun stuff like that, that will all be available through my Patreon link in the description. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, for those that picked the fourth and final pile here with the red calcite, we're going to go ahead and jump into your reading by flipping up all of your cards first and foremost. So for your tarot, we had the King of Cups, and we also have the Justice. So definitely there's some karmic stuff happening in your career situation right now. That could also be a masculine figure that you're working with in particular. Let's see what else we have. We also have the Mars in Aries with impulsiveness. Like, damn, very strong Aries energy there. We also have Saturn in Capricorn. So I almost feel like kind of an impulsive decision can actually lead to like a big payoff somehow. We also have the full moon in Cancer with a personal issue reaches resolution. We also have protecting treasure in the upright position, and we have building blocks. So the particular careers that we could be talking about here with the energy, especially with the tarot, with that King of Cups, that could definitely refer to, anybody who is a doctor, a CEO, a high-level management person. It could also imply and talk about, that you're about to be recognized in a big way for whatever it is that you're doing in career, or some project maybe that you're working on. Again, it's really that top corporate world. And it can also talk about, vets, veterinarians, again, things in that medical field. It's also just somebody who is very emotionally stable, has a high level of emotional intelligence, and just intelligence in general. We're always talking about the sciences and the arts with the King of Cups. So anything in those fields might be of significance for some of you. With, of course, the Justice card. That could definitely talk about law and order, careers in health and fitness, careers in the financial institutions, teaching, especially when it's paired up with like the energy of the world, doing very worldly teaching. Maybe you're teaching a lot of people who come from various different backgrounds. Obviously, it could talk about, definitely anything that is gonna deal with the law. Or again, it could also talk about, I'm gonna throw out beauty as well, just because, and also the arts again, because it is Libra's energy, and that goes very hand in hand with Libra. So again, anything in that kind of world of either the sciences, the health industry in whatever, or medical field in any way of that, or again, like very high CEO kind of corporate world and finances. Very interesting for you guys. But I definitely get the sense of, reaping what you sow when it comes to your career situation or maybe your education. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about our astrology cards here. So again, you might want to look into your actual astrology and see if you have a Mars in Aries or a Saturn in Capricorn, or something in your first house or 10th house that relates to this. Or maybe again in your progress chart, your transits, something like that going on. So let's talk about our Mars energy first. So with this is talking about when this card is drawn in a reading, it shows that some kind of physical and or competitive action is necessary for the well-being of the person asking the question. So the particular events that might be important are a challenge that requires courage, proving oneself by tackling the unknown, acting on impulse in a sudden situation, leading others with enthusiasm into a new venture. Very good. And then, of course, we have that wonderful Saturn in Capricorn here with riches. So with this card appearing in your reading, it usually points towards the successful conclusion of a financial arrangement or deal. So again, some of you have been working on securing like a big like account or, project or something. You could definitely get a lot of success with that. So particular events here is the stock market. So maybe you work with the stock market, dealings with government organizations, involvement in politics, receiving an honor of some kind. So you're definitely going to be very much recognized. And I feel like you're going to be recognized by somebody who you really admire as well. And again, you could be dealing with politics, the political system as well. Again, those finances situation all coming up here. So, and again, that might be part of why a personal issue reaches resolution, because it's like you're finally going to be recognized for all of the hard work that you've been putting in. So let's see a little bit more about that. That's definitely going to be very emotional because, again, it is Cancer's energy. So with this, things are likely to get very heated as full moon in Cancer is a super emotional sign. So there could be something of an explosion of feelings around now or surrounding your question. It's important to be sensitive to other people when you pull this card. There are some very fine sensibilities around, so tread carefully as you move towards your goals or dreams. This card indicates an especially feminine time. It also heralds the time to deal with any family issues coming up. Nothing to worry about. It signals a challenge is now coming to an end. This challenge is, this card also suggests both that a domestic matter or a private issue will soon come to a head, and that's a great time to move house. The answer to your question lies in being a kind leader. This is the time for you to step up and agree to overcome your insecurities. So to attune to this, it may be best to move towards what you want in a sideways manner. So meditate to soothe heightened emotions. Don't be clingy. Stop sulking. Have you had enough family time lately? Very interesting. So let's also talk about protecting treasure. So this is card 39. So with this, it is saying, although this is a time of great risk, know that at a fundamental level, you are able to move forward safely and securely. The proverbial nest egg is safe and sound, no matter the fluctuations in the world. Guardian angels and other guides are whispering to you, making you aware of their protective presence. Your loyalty is an important theme now. Nurture that which you hold dear. This is a good time to strengthen bonds of friendship and ensure their integrity. If you feel tested right now, know that a true and loyal heart always achieves its aim. Take refuge under an angel's wing. You are not alone and have no need to fear. Embrace your courage. Wow. Very nice. And of course, we have the building blocks here. So with this card, 28, and I opened up right to it. It's always so funny when that happens. So the essential meanings are strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. Fantastic. I feel like there's just like some wonderful big things happening for you in your career. And again, it's going to lead to, even though you might be worried about like kind of making an impulsive decision or choice or something, it's going to lead to, again, those riches. Sorry, my phone there kind of cut off for a second, but as I was saying, it's like, it's going to lead to some wonderful riches for you guys. So don't worry so much. So with this card here, its message is you have everything you need to turn iron into gold in the alchemical process of creating the prosperous life you desire. Now is the time to build on the strong foundation you have already laid for your prosperity. Keep in mind that these building blocks are imbued with the sparkling energy of your intentions. Own your dream and remember that you always have more than enough, and you always are enough. So abundance is ever present. Your creativity is divinely inspired, and the design for your life is taking shape in service to the world. You are meant for success. Very, very positive, I get the sense of here. Like, you guys are definitely moving towards some really fantastic opportunities. And again, I just feel like it's very, very positive. So you guys should definitely be very excited, I think, by this. So that is everything I'm seeing for this particular reading. So if you guys enjoyed this, please do let me know. Subscribe if you want to see more. And of course, if you want more exclusive readings or personal readings, artwork, all kinds of fun extra goodies, definitely do check out my Patreon because I'm going to be adding all kinds of new stuff on there momentarily. And yeah, thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.